Okay, the topic of our presentation is UCP 600. And my name is Ganyo Ho, number metric is 246261. The first is the definition of UCP 600. UCP 600 is stand for Uniform Custom and Practice for Documentary Credit, and which is a set of rules agreed by the International Chamber of Commerce, and which is applied to financial institutions who issue the letter of credit. And the aim of this rule is to standardize international trade, to reduce the risk of trading goods and service. And also many banks and lenders are subject to this regulation and govern trade. And the history of UCP 600 is the first uniform rules published by ICC, which is the International Chamber of Commerce, in 1933, and revised versions were issued in 1915, 1962, 1974, 1983, and 1999. And what is the reasons for the UCP 600? The UCP 600 will replace the UCP 500 on the 2007 July 1st. It was brought about to standardize a set of rules aiming to benefit all parties during the trade financial transaction. It also be created by the industry in expert and managed by the Banking Commission rather than through its legislation. And the UCP 600 is very voluntary incorporate into the contract of sales and have to outline it in trade finance contract in order to apply. It also flexible for all the international parties involved. And the UCP 600 is the international standard banking practice for examination of documents under the ISBP, which is publication 745. It assists with understanding whether a document complies with the term of condition letter of credit. And credit that are issued and governed by UCP 600 will interpret in line with entire set of 39 articles contained in the UCP 600. And the expectation to the rules can be met by express modification or exclusion. And this rule is the most successful rule ever developed in relation to trade, and most letter of credit subject to these rules. And this is look at the recent development in the industry practice and ICC policy, as well as review of the latest Banking Commission opinion.
Okay, so next I will proceed with the presentation about the summary of the UCP 600. So here are the key elements which make up the UCP 600. So for the first one is the definition of key terms which are prevalent in the international trade. Next, how international trade documents, for example the letter of credit, can be signed and acknowledged by all parties. So the difference between the documents, goods and service, and all which party with this, which part of letter credit and are negotiable and non-negotiable, how credit work and how payment is made, how banks can communicate and the confirmation of the goods, transportation of the good, modes of transport and who bears the responsibility, how to deal with the discrepancy, waiver and giving notice, the provision of original documents or electronic copies, bill of ladings, insurance and covering the cost of goods, loss of shipping document in transit. So all of these are the key elements that make up the UCP of 600. So next is about the UCP 600 that take over 3 years to develop itself. So when looking at the UCP 600, it is important to look at the market environment and the general notes about the current guideline. So it is general concerns that UCP 600 will not be revised anytime soon. Some of the reasons for this and general notes about the UCP are outlined at the below. So for the first one is there was a 14 years gap between the UCP 500 and UCP 600. The consulting group was established with 41 members from 26 countries who held meetings on over the 15 occasions. So over 5,000 comments were received and reviewed once the first draft of the UCP 600 came about, being unanimously approved in October 2006. Besides that, UCP 600 is doing relatively well and work most of the time. There have been a low number of disputes, usually centered around some ambiguous wording that could not be agreed when the UCP 600 was drafted. So next I will proceed with the UCP 600 article from 1 to 5. So for the first one is the application of UCP. So UCP 600 is a set of rules that apply to any documentary credit in the extent in which it is applicable, and the text of credit expressly indicate that it is subject to this rule. So binding of all the parties unless expressly modified or excluded by the credit. So next, UCP 600 Article 2, meaning of honor. To pay at sight, to incur a deferred payment undertaking, and the payment is based on the law of promissory note. To accept bill of exchange drawn by beneficiary, and the payment based on law on bill of exchange, not UCP. So next is about the meaning of the negotiation. The purchase by the nominated bank of draft debt drawn on bank under complying presentation by agreeing to advance fund to beneficiary on which reimbursement is due to nominated bank and compliance with law on bill of the exchange. So next is the UCP 600 Article 4. It's about the independent contracts rule. So LC is a separate transaction for the sale. Fulfillment of the obligation under LC is not subject to claims by applicant resulting from its relationship with issuing the bank. So the beneficiary can avail itself of contractual relationship exists between the banks and between issuing bank or the applicants. So compliance with the law of the letter of credit. So last is about the Article 5 is about the document compliance rule. So bank deal with this document, to which the document may relate to three types. For the first one is the doctrine of not in contradiction, the UCP of 600, doctrine of in compliance, the UCP of 500, and doctrine of strict compliance, the law of the letter of credit. So these are the part that I present. Thank you.
My name is Eric Tay Seng Kun, metric number 2462207. Next, I will proceed with the eUCP. Most of the presentations are made in paper or traditional format are still exist in today's letter of credit environment. However, the telecommunication technology is expanding very fast nowadays, so it is highly expected that the traditional process will be substituted with the electronic paperless transaction. In order to establish a set of rules for the electronic presentation, ICC Banking Commission already established a working group which consists of the expert in UCP, electronic trade, and also legal issue to prepare appropriate rules for electronic presentation. eUCP is not a revision for the UCP, it is a supplement to the UCP. Next, I'll proceed with the Article 18 to Article 28, which talk about the document. There are three documents that were considered under this section, which are commercial invoice, transport document, and also insurance document and coverage. For the commercial invoice, under Article 18, commercial invoice is issued by beneficiary and made out in the name of applicant and made out in the same currency as the LC and need not be signed. Description of the goods, service, and performance must correspond to what has appeared in LC. Next is a transport document under Article 19, 20, 21. This is indication of name of courier and must sign by the courier, and the signature must be identified. There are no name of master needed when the agent sign, and also this is a show original document or full set. Next, transport document under Article 22. This is an indication of charter party and signed by the master or owner, and the signature must be identified. This is the show original charter party bill of lading or full set. Next, transport document under Article 23. This is an indication of name of courier and must sign by the courier, and the signature must be identified. This is a show original transport document or full set, and this is the original for the consignor. Next is the transport document under Article 24. This is almost same as the transport document under Article 23, and next we'll proceed with the transport document under Article 25. There are two receipts that are under the transport document, which is courier receipt and post receipt. Next, which is lastly, I will proceed with the insurance document and the coverage under Article 28. Insurance documents such as insurance policy and insurance certificate must appear to be issued and signed by the insurance company. If the insurance document indicate that it has been issued in more than one originals, then all originals must be presented. And next, the cover note are not accepted, and also the date of the insurance document must not late than the date of shipment. Next, it also indicate that the amount of insurance coverage and must be same currency as the LC. And lastly, it also indicate the risks that are covered